Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Ara Ara. And today I'm with Vivz, and Ariane can't make it tonight, but we do have a guest for the very first time, and that's Trixie. Say hello, Trixie.
Hey, what's up?
And how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing well. It's like time is it? 12 some around here in the middle of the night. And yes, I look like this at 12. Took me a
Yeah.
while, but I do.
And what about you, Vivz?
I'm doing great as well.
I really like you're wearing. It suits you.
Oh, thank you.
I
Just
love
bragging
it.
that
Is that like a
you know,
mint?
mint green dress. How about you, Amy? How are you?
All good. Yeah, just really excited since it's the first time we're having a guest. And the reason why Trixie's like awake at midnight is because she's 6 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
So
You
a
are
little bit about
so
Trixie.
unfair. It's afternoon there.
No, it's yeah, well,
6
evening,
p.m.
6 in the evening.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, a little bit about Trixie is that she was a schoolmate of ours back at uni, and we had a few classes together. She was a transferee, and we just instantly became really close.
Mm.
But yeah, like what else? But yeah, after that, we still kept in touch, and then at some point,
That's
she got
crazy, right?
into anime, like all of a
Yeah.
sudden, which was not something that she was into back then. Can you
Really?
tell us a little bit more about
Yeah,
yourself,
no, I
Trixie?
wasn't
Yeah.
into anime for the longest time. Like, I had those classmates in high school who were like running around doing the shit. You know what I mean? You know the whole Shinobi Ryan, and I'm like, boy, okay, whatever floats your boat. No judgment. Whatever makes you happy. Just kind of stay away from me, maybe. but I have changed. I've gotten more mature.
That's
So I
also
got into
because you were raised
anime.
in the US, right? You
Yeah.
were raised in Japan.
Yeah, I know, like
So was it a
anime
very
at the
westernized
time.
place? Or?
Well, at the time I was like around middle school, so it wasn't too crazy. I guess like I think at the time anime didn't really touch the US at that time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then later on, I think maybe late 2000s is where it really got interesting. I don't know. I have no idea. Cuz then by then I was already in the Philippines, and I did realize that at the time anime was pretty already pretty popular at the time, I guess. I wasn't
Wait,
really into it at the time. I really wasn't into it.
at what age did you move to the Philippines? Because you mentioned, or
I moved like freshman year high school.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What year was that?
So, um, like late 2000s, maybe almost 2009, around that time range.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So anime was just, I guess, introducing itself to America. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I think so.
But you had like people doing Naruto runs at
In
school or
in high school in Asia,
in high school.
like
You
in
went to Philippines.
Philippines. Yeah. And they were tall guys, it was kind of weird, but like, whatever made you get to class fast enough, like if you think that made
Just
you more
Naruto runs.
aerodynamic, then I'm not gonna judge.
It makes sense. It makes sense. And if
Right?
that makes them happy, like, okay,
Like,
this
oh my god,
guy's
I'm late.
let me just sprint. All
Right?
right. But
But
wait,
I did have. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was curious though. So since you've mentioned that it was a bit late for you, what was the first anime
Yeah.
that you've seen or that you've watched?
I finished Naruto alone, actually. So I was already here in Guam. I was like
When did you went back to Guam, or when did you
22,
went to
23,
which
23 years
year
old,
was that?
probably. That was like,
2017.
yeah,
No,
2017.
2017.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah,
You've only
or
seen Naruto
because I'm a
2017?
mom, so I gave
Ah.
birth at
Mm-hmm.
22. And
Mm-hmm.
then I got here, and then while I was, tending to the child, I was like watching Naruto. And it was the longest thing, I wanted something really long to watch or something to really dedicate my life to at the time.
Makes
So that
sense,
was
girl.
pretty interesting. That was really interesting. No, because I knew it was popular before, right? Because I've seen my not friends run in high school, and I got really curious. I was like, you know what? Let me just watch this. And at that time, I wasn't really into American reality TV because that shit just melts your brain. I don't know. It's just, have you seen it? I don't recommend.
I haven't really
no, like
watched American
yeah,
series.
like in lockdown, that's all people watched. Everyone watched Too Hot to Handle and all these other shows.
I mean, not judging you, okay? But
Someone
yeah.
mentioned, I mean, it's a little off topic, but someone
Okay.
mentioned, and I'm like, this is bullshit, right? So someone mentioned that people who watch trash TV are actually smarter than people who watch. And I'm like, where is this study coming from?
From
I just
trash
someone mentioned this
people.
from trash people who watch trash
They're
TV.
just trying to, give reason to their
Validate or
whatever.
justify watching trash TV, I guess.
That's exactly it. I mean, I was just talking to my husband about how there's a demographic out there for somebody, like, people who like feet. Like,
Right.
you never know. You never knew that was a
Yeah.
thing until, people started buying like literal feet pictures. And I was
Yeah.
like off topic, but I was watching this thing. There's actually an actual TikTok account where she kind of suggests how you get people who like feet
Yeah,
by
yeah, 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 I
posting
know
your
that.
shoes, right?
But
It's
wait, I
sick,
have
but it's
another
so smart.
question. I have another question though. So, you've mentioned earlier that it was, like weird for you seeing those people doing the Naruto run.
Hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
please, just not be, don't be my friend. Like you were kind of like
Yeah,
that,
no,
but
I was kind of weirded out, really, because, like, what are you doing
oh,
being 5'11", running like that? And I'm here, like, barely 5 feet tall, and I'm just like,
but wait,
what are you doing?
what made you watch? Because see, what did you used to
Yeah.
think about anime, and why haven't you really watched it? Especially in the Philippines, we know that anime is very popular in the Philippines. So,
Yeah,
what
so,
made
hmm. Well, I think it's because I came from the US, I guess, that it wasn't really, influential to me as a kid. Does that make sense? So at the very least, it was like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, just the mainstream ones, but I never really got into like hardcore anime where it like you had to watch it in, Japanese or something like that.
oh, so you watch it
Yeah,
in
so it
dub?
was kind of new to me, really. No, no, I did not watch it in English. I hated that. It was kind of
Oh.
weird. It's kind of weird
Just
to me, because
clarifying
like
that,
the
Really
voice
bad
quality
in
is
English, like
different.
sub for
You know
life.
what I mean? But I did watch Pokemon in English.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now the
that's
Japanese
understandable.
Pokemon to me is like weird.
No,
Right?
they have different names in Japanese, like the Pokemon.
Yeah, I heard they're different.
Yeah, even Ash's name is different.
What is
Really?
his name in Japanese?
I don't even remember. You
That's
want this? Well, let me just Google Ash
dude.
Pokemon
Japanese name.
name in Japanese.
That's so funny because like one of my coworkers were like, "Are you learning
Satoshi. His
Japanese?"
name is
And she's
Satoshi.
like, "What's belt in
Serious?
Japanese?" I'm like belto, and I was right. I was right because apparently wallet has like two ways to say, or like you say wallet in two ways in Japanese. There's like they kind of accept walletto and osaifu.
Yes, I.
Oh.
Yeah. So or saifu, yeah. But so I was like trying to smart ass my way through that.
By
And I
saying
was right.
Pelco.
Huh. But I got really into anime at a really late age because I was going through a lot of things at the time because I was kind of adjusting to being a new mother, and then at that time I was actually getting ready to get married. Yeah, I was engaged at the time, and we were making our arrangements for the wedding and whatnot, and it was just so it was nerve wracking, honestly, just because just having to adjust with everything new. So initially, I did come from Saipan, so it's not as far from Guam. They're literally next to each other. Like I could probably kayak my way there if I had the muscles enough. It's ridiculous though, because we do take a plane there now. Anyhow.
Okay.
So it was all kind of new to me. It's like kind of, you know, like how I moved to the Philippines where I had to readjust myself to the culture and what was influential to the community. Does that make sense? Because, you always have to kind of immerse yourself and get to know, the place you now call home kind of thing. So it was something new, and I wanted something to kind of like pick me up. Does that make sense? And like and I wanted something to really what empower me in a way and really like kind of help me refocus on just something that wasn't too overwhelming.
Mhm.
And I just thought Naruto would have been, would be a good series to watch because it's kind of lengthy. So I was like, I really
It's
need
not
this.
kinda. It is not kinda lengthy. It is lengthy. Like how many
Really?
episodes does
No,
Naruto
okay.
has?
So I've been
Did you wait?
watching One Piece, so that is
Yeah.
me. I'm trying to regain
Yeah.
my life from there, honestly.
Wait.
But why
Which
Naruto?
episode?
Like why Naruto? Because it just seems like very far. You're just like, let me avoid trash TV and get my life on track. Let me watch Naruto. It just seems like two different spectrums.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say like the TV I was watching, or it wasn't exactly on TV? I was watching it on Netflix, so that
Yeah.
was available to me at the time. Because
Ah,
I
I
just I
see.
don't watch cable. I don't really. I like the very least I would like just look through it and then watch whatever is on TV, like marathon, because it kind of like makes you understand at least to see more than maybe a couple episodes. Because I don't really watch TV, so it was really new to me. It was great though. It was, and I was like watching it alone, so I'd be like binge watching till like 4 alone. I'm like, no, you can do this, and I'd be crying like, what is up with me, man? What is this? And I would just say, you know what? This is motherhood.
Yeah, it makes
And like
sense.
that's
It
why I
makes
feel
sense.
like I'm matured, but at the same time, like accepting something new is maturity. But at the same time, I was like 23 years old and I just watched Naruto.
Naruto. But wait, is there a difference between liking anime when you are younger than someone that compared to you liking it like on your late 20 or early 20s? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think there was a big difference. Being, I guess I was a lot more receptive and to the thought of watching cartoons. I don't know. It was just a really bad time for me at the time, and I was really wanting something that like would kind of distract me from that, and it kind of saved me. It really did, honestly. Like I feel like it saved me, and until now, I'm like looking for the next thing to watch. Really, I'm still trying to regain my life from One Piece. Honestly, I've been not been
Wait,
watching
were you able
anything
to
else.
finish it? Were you
Yeah,
able to finish?
I finished Naruto. I finished it
No,
quite
no, One
quickly because
Piece. How about One
oh, One
Piece?
Piece. No, I'm not. I'm not done yet. So the whole series isn't done yet
No,
technically, and
It's still ongoing.
this year is like on its 1,000th episode. I think that's what
Yeah.
most updated one is, and I'm in like 960 some. I think 970 maybe.
When did you start binging One Piece?
One Piece, I started watching maybe, 20, maybe late 2018. I was
Oh god.
watching like a few episodes, and my husband was trying to get me into watching One Piece because he wasn't really into Naruto. And I was like, you know what, whatever, you're a loser. You're obviously not my type. I'm just kidding. But
Wait, so is your
that's
husband a
really
fan of anime?
oh yeah, he's a big fan of anime, but he watches pretty hard anime like Sword Art, Sword Art.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
So there's
What do
that.
you mean by hard anime? I mean, like for me, Sword Art Online was
No,
a
that was
pretty
Yeah.
great.
normal anime.
Yeah, no, but the what's that? The Brotherhood Alchemist. Was
Full
that?
Yeah,
Metal
Full Metal
Alchemist.
Alchemist
Yes,
Brotherhood.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
That one. I watched that too. I watched all of that.
Mhm.
yeah.
It
I
was
love that one.
part of the beginning.
This is where it starts.
I'm like, so this is us now.
This is
This is adulthood, dude.
So I think like what you
Yes.
mean by hardcore anime is sort of like, so you have Naruto and you have Naruto, which is shonen as well, but it's like, it's still for kids. I mean, it has very mature
Yeah,
themes,
it does,
but
but it's like kind of
but a kid can watch it and they're like, oh, Sakura has pink hair and I love it. Like your daughter, for example, she loves
yeah,
Sakura because she has pink hair.
that was pretty.
And then you have the shonen like Attack on Titan and
I've
Full
seen that
Metal
one
Alchemist
actually.
Brotherhood.
I actually
Yeah,
don't know what shonen means. What does that mean?
go ahead, Yvette, explain.
Shonen is a genre of anime that's targeting young boys. Shonen means young
Young
boys.
boys.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, this
So
is
it's more of
also
the
new.
adventure, yeah,
This is
adventure types,
these are the
fighting.
terms.
Yeah. So My Hero Academia,
I've
Naruto,
seen
all
that
that
one.
stuff, they all
One
fall under
Piece.
My
One
hero
Piece
is
also.
really
One
nice.
Piece. One Piece falls under shonen.
But I think
Really?
just
I mean,
just in
that
general,
makes
like
sense.
everyone goes into anime from shonen. Like shonen is always the gateway
The gateway drug.
genre for everyone, I
So
guess.
what other terms are there besides shonen?
Um,
Can you guys
there's
like
shoujo.
educate me a
Shoujo
little bit?
is the if shonen is for young boys, shoujo is for
Yeah.
young girls. Like the harem
Oh.
types of animes. You have
So
isekai,
I don't think I've
shobits.
seen any.
Yeah,
Like I think I've seen like K-On maybe
yeah,
a little
chaos.
bit.
Yeah,
That's girls,
that's
right? That's
yeah,
a girl thing.
shoujo
Because
slash like
I
music
actually
anime.
had friends in college, like before I transferred to the school we were in. I was in, yeah, and I had friends who were actually cosplaying, like they were
Oh,
famous
really?
cosplay. Yeah, and they were so into it, and they would talk about it, and I would be just like, that's amazing. Like like I can't relate. Holy cow! But it
But
was
have you
just really
ever
crazy.
seen yourself cosplaying or something?
No, probably not. I have anxiety. Like I have crippling anxiety sometimes, and I just can't get into character. Like I probably could without cameras around, maybe. Phone as hell, maybe. Like probably not sober. Yeah,
Okay,
I could
okay.
probably, but yeah, no. My friends were trying to get me into cosplaying. And they would be like, you'd make a great chibi character. Like, thanks. That's that. I kind of understand. Yeah, but
And another reason why you weren't into anime is sort of because a lot of people who do like anime seem to fetishize anime and like in general, or
that's true. But I actually haven't really been creeped out just because they use. I just would kind of like separate myself from that group. Does that make sense? I don't know. I knew some really weird boys in high school, and they were interesting. They were interesting people. Let me just say that. And I just yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it was much of a problem. However, I do know that being in America now at this time with anime like so popular now, there is that to worry about. So there's this weird thing. I now attract younger boys because of it, which
But
is
you do look really, really young. So I mean,
which is nice. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
you keep me young. Tell me more. You think I'm 22? Okay, I gave birth at 22. Like, you know what I mean? It's nice. It's nice, but it's still, something to kind of like, worry about in a way, just to keep yourself kind of conscious about the dangers, the
mm,
dangers, the dangers of anime.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
The influence, rather. I don't know what it does to boys, honestly, but I mean, if you've seen, I've actually, I've seen a lot of, I guess that would be under the shonen category. It's usually what I usually see. I don't really I haven't really watched any girl animes. What do you call it? Shoujo.
Shoujo. Yeah. Shoujo
Mm.
anime.
So yeah, no, I don't think I've ever seen any girly animes as far as K-On! K-On! I only kind of seen through Animax in PI.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So actually my friend was hosting Animax once. One of the
Really?
girls I went to in college. Yeah. Her name was Jessica Owano.
Oh
She's like,
shit! Really? You-
yeah, yeah. I went to school with her. She was my classmate. And so she was really cool. She even modeled for like Pocky, and we were
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Yay,
Hmm. That
Pocky!"
was, I think, late 2000s. Yeah. Or no,
Yeah,
no, 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 like
it was really cool
mid
though.
2010s something. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
around that,
I'm not sure. Yeah, yeah,
I
around
think
that
around
time.
that time.
Yeah,
No, like I think 2011. Yeah.
yeah. Because
Hmm.
that's the time that Animax is really just booming, especially in the Philippines. You know.
You
So
know how it's doing now? Is it still ongoing?
I have no idea. Ever since I left the Philippines, mm, no
I kind
news
of It's
about
kind of sad that I
Animax.
never got into it because now I'm like I hope we kind of have an Animax here now, like and but now I have to like
But
freaking
you
pay
know,
for it.
I was an Animax kid. Like I
Oh
swear,
really?
I started watching anime because of Animax. That was around 2004. So I saw
Wow.
the original animes that they were putting out, and it was all in Japanese dub. It was all in original
Wow.
language. Yeah, but recently, or I think the last few years, it was mostly English dubs. So, but I
Oh,
stopped watching.
that's so interesting, man. They should
Yeah,
have kept it though. Just because, you know what I mean? Because it's easier to kind of like have an original reference to something.
yeah,
What about you guys? Like, when did you guys get into anime?
Amy.
So for me, it was like I would watch it, but it was sort of like never properly, if that makes sense. Like it would be there, and I would rent DVDs. Like I loved Studio Ghibli. That was like my childhood.
Wow.
Yeah, Pokemon as well. I mean, like the generic stuff, like you mentioned, Digimon and all that. But I never really like properly watched other anime aside from those
Mm-hmm.
until I got together with Nico.
Oh, that's cute. So he was into
Yeah,
anime, yeah?
yeah, he was, but
Ways somehow.
yeah, like he was into anime enough that he's
Right. What is
what
it with these guys? It's always the boys.
Excuse
they,
me.
they have shonen. That's why.
I know, and you know what? It's kind of slightly perverted too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
There's this shot of like just the boobies, and it's like that is so
Yeah,
unnecessary. Like
It's
yeah,
because again, it's
someone just
targeted to
died. You
boys.
don't have to like
yeah.
show it.
No, but Nico always hated those scenes. He'd be like, you know what? He would like tell you know what annoys me about anime is that, and I didn't even notice at first. He's the one that point. He's like, you could be having a normal conversation, and all of a sudden it'll pan to like a girl's legs while they're talking,
Huh?
or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, really? And then I started noticing, like, oh yeah, and he's like, it's distracting because you're trying to make sense of what the fuck is going on in this scene. And
Yeah,
then all of a sudden you see some girl's boobs and you're like,
Yeah.
hold on.
where it's like someone's dying and some girl's like crying, and the first thing they do is pan upwards. You know what I mean? Like they do that
Or
slow capture.
Yep.
It's like, okay, legs.
or
Okay.
not even that, like the girl is crying and then the teardrop will drop onto her boobies or something. Here.
Like how convenient.
Convenient.
If you see One Piece, it's a lot like that, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not as perverted as like some others that I've seen.
Fairy Tale. Have you seen
Yeah.
Fairy Tale?
I've seen some of that. My brother was watching that actually,
Mm.
but there was another one that was on Netflix that I saw and that I couldn't even watch with my daughter around because it's just so perverted in a way. I don't even remember the name of that because again I couldn't go back to it until she's asleep. And I've just been trying to watch my One Piece now. I've been very concentrated on it because of that 1,000th episode. Like once you get past like 3 seasons, 3 seasons. Once you kind of dedicate half your life, it's really good.
You cannot
Then
go
you have to
back.
dedicate more of your life, the other half, to finish it.
Yeah,
And you're
it
like,
makes
okay,
sense.
well, I am deep into this, and I just can't.
But wait, you've
Dude, I
mentioned that.
haven't been watching any mainstream movies either. I've just been very like the new Encanto movie. I haven't
Ah.
seen
Yeah.
it's like One Piecing it. Like after One Piece.
After Mondays. Oh my god.
Yeah, and
But
I
yeah.
have been like telling people like or my coworkers be like, hey, you want to hit the bars? I'm like, yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. And then I'll text them like, oh, sorry, I took some pain meds and I just can't.
But you're just
When you're
watching One
watching One
Piece.
Piece.
Yeah, and I'm dude, it's pretty crazy though. It's a pretty deep anime in a way. It
Mm.
tackles a lot of weird actually no, not I wouldn't say weird. It it's kind of weird because it tackles a lot of like deep topics, but at the same
Mm.
time they use all these different characters like fishmen and it's kind of weird to grasp, but once you kind of get over the okay, there's a talking reindeer that's human now, and then there are things like guns that turn human
Mm.
that can speak. Once you get past that weirdness, then you'll just find yourself enjoying it, I guess.
Do you feel like if you watched it a long time ago, would you understand it the same way that you do now?
I mean, honestly, the progression helps. There's a lot of deep what is that, character development, so it kind of makes you have to keep going really, because then you'll be like, okay, whatever happened to this, whatever happened to that, and like further and further on you will get your answers, and at the same time they'll drop a few things, like a few things that they won't answer and that you kind of are like itching to Google, but you're trying not to do that because you might
Spoilers.
see something you don't want to see. Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of theories behind it, which is really fun. But like I don't know. I haven't really talked to anyone and theorized over it. Really, I've been trying to. I've been very lonely. I've been telling people, hey, like, can you watch One Piece and let me know? Just like, I know it's 1,000 episode, but like, hear me out.
Wait,
Yeah,
Amy.
she's been trying to get me into One Piece as well.
Yeah, this is your
I've been
sign,
trying to
Amy.
like Amy, just watch past the first season, Amy. And it's like the first season is like 40 episodes long or something. I'm not even sure.
Seriously?
Just wait on it. And it's kind of hard to start it because it did start in the late 90s.
Yeah.
So the animation is really 90s. Like
Yeah.
but it gets better, and you kind of really do see the years go by of the modern progression. It's pretty interesting
Mm.
because then can see like just the sharpness of the color, just the change of everything. You kind of like really start appreciating the like the artistic what is this, what is the term that I'm looking for, but but you know what I mean, like if from an artistic perspective it's really great, like the dynamics of it, it's great, like I have nothing to complain about. It's great.
Mhm.
It's just
But you
1,000 episodes, great.
1,000 episodes. But yeah, you've mentioned earlier that you sometimes have to wait for your daughter to fall asleep before you can watch anime.
Hmm.
But do you watch anime with her regularly
Yeah, and I
or?
mean, with her, not so much because I just choose to stick with the Japanese,
Uh,
the Japanese originals, and she's just like, I can't read that fast yet. She's only it's just
Oh,
frustrating, but she's been saying things like, "Nani?"
oh, cute.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to get her into like kind of accepting other languages as well, because that's not really something I grew up with, because coming from the US, I've just been kind of used to like hearing English this, and then the Japanese are one of the most common Asian languages, and then there's a Filipino language that I grew up with, of course. So those were kind of the other languages like Korean, like K dramas was very new to me, and the Philippines got me into that actually.
oh, so you watch
But
K
yeah,
dramas too?
yeah. I mean, so far I haven't really been updated into it. Like I'm kind of very picky because I don't like watching too much romance, and that's why I kind of prefer anime because there's a lot more to it. You know what I mean? There's a little bit less drama and there's a lot more interesting plot to it, if that makes sense. Like, just, I just enjoy, like, the constant killing, maybe. The constant killing. And then it's like, hey, we survived. And you're like, yay. Yeah, I kind of knew that because, there's like 1,000 more episodes, but I'm going to pretend like,
Yeah, you survived
and
this.
it's nice. Yeah. And it's nice to be like, it's nice, because you're like, what you're kind of intentionally daft about it. You know what I mean? Like, there's 1,000 episodes, and I'm like 800, and like Luffy's not gonna die. Like, there's 1,000 episodes, but at the same time, it's like, don't die. I'm like crying and shit. Dude, he almost died. Like, can you imagine? Like, who's gonna do the next 200 episodes?
But wait, which character's death did you cry? Like really cry? Have you ever watched an anime that?
Dude, I've cried over like pretty much every anime I've watched. I've intentionally kind of like separated myself from like thinking too much into it. You know what I mean? Because like you obviously, like when I watch animes, I prefer ones with a lengthy series. Does that make sense? Like there's more than 2 seasons or something like that, or something to look forward to, right? So there's that. And like I just really enjoy kind of being stupid. I'm just so into it, and it's great. It's great. Yeah, it's great that it's really different from reality TV, because then reality TV is reality and people and things like that. And like in anime, there's a lot of things you don't expect, like talking guns, like guns that ate the human fruit, and then all of a sudden they're like semi-anime. That's that's freaking weird, but hey.
Did you cry for any deaths, Vivs?
Yeah, I mean a lot. Girl, I
What's
cried
what's the
for what's the most impacting? Shit. Wait. Mm, I think it will still be Itachi's death up until now,
Oh,
right?
or no, Jiraiya did it for
Oh
me.
shit. Yeah, Jiraiya as well.
I
How about
actually
you,
want to
Amy?
tattoo Jiraiya. Like that's how deep I'm in love
well?
with it.
Actually, it's also it's a Naruto, but he doesn't really die, does he, Kakashi?
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
was like
Wait,
literally.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were
So like I was watching it with Nico, and then I was so Kakashi dies. Obviously, he's already watched this. He
Mhm.
just doesn't spoil it for me. So Kakashi dies,
That's
and I'm like, what? What the fuck? No, I'm not gonna watch this anymore. And then like he's just laughing at me, and I'm like, why are you laughing? So does he come back to life or something?
Oh
And he's just
man.
like, no, he's dead. And then I'm like, so don't laugh at me for crying. And I literally didn't watch Naruto because we were like binging it. And I didn't watch Naruto for like a week or two because I was like, I don't want to watch. There is no incentive for me because Kakashi is dead.
That is so cute though. That is so cute. No, I feel the same way though. I just can't. Dude, when Jiraiya died, I was like torn for a few weeks and I was like, no, no way, is he really dead? Is he really dead? Does he come back in Boruto? Like does you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm still hoping. There was a whole ceremony and everything, but I'm like, no, he's not dead. Is he dead? Like, dude, I couldn't accept that. I still don't. I still think that he should come back. They should come back. They should reanimate him. They reanimated a few bunch of
But
people. They could do it
there
They
again.
is
reanimated the black
Very
people.
there's even like a
exactly. They
theory,
all
fan
need
theory.
What's the
Yeah.
fan theory?
Like yeah, that you cannot bring Jiraiya back to life and stuff. So
I don't even
you
want to
know,
watch.
Because he's in the bottom of a lake? Why?
yeah,
I
that's why
refuse to
because the
watch.
body was not
There is no
recovered.
fan. That's true. Yeah, no, that's one thing, right? They didn't
Right?
find
His body wasn't recovered,
right,
so
so he'll be
anything
back.
could happen.
Naruto,
Oh,
Naruto, or Naruto 2 or something. Someone bring Jiraiya back, please. Feature him in One Piece or something. Someone do something. He just right. He's like he dies and then on this whole different universe. Hey, I'm Jiraiya. How's it doing? Like, I'm
He
here.
comes out of the
crossover.
sea.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's a good world.
But I
This is
think
not the world I want to live with at the moment.
I think there was an episode. Not sure. Just correct me if I'm wrong. Like in One Piece, that they did crossover for um Dragon Ball, I guess, with One Piece
Oh
in the
yeah, no,
manga,
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen
right?
that. It was pretty interesting when there were like these small mini special episodes where they were kind of doing the strong man thing. You know, they were like proving who's the strongest and whatnot. But that was great though. I loved how they do that. And like that is not something that you can see anywhere, I would believe. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I bet Americans might be doing this whole anime thing too. I'm not quite aware really because
Hmm.
I just refuse. Like if you're sorry, if it's from America, it just doesn't feel it feels different. You know what I mean? Like you can't tell me this is America because I will not watch it. Like you have to tell me, or like if it is, like at least speak Japanese. And like I wanted real Japanese. Okay, I don't want it. I don't want it like what the, you know what I mean? Like they have this weird
Accent.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to be racist. I just like my anime Japanese is all, you know. And if they try to feed me some like wannabe Japanese thing, because there's a few things like that now, you know what I mean? Like we can't be
Mhm.
ignorant about it. But I just try to stay away from that.
But wait, I have another question though. So, I think you've mentioned plenty about this anyway. But what is something that you love about anime? And at the same time, what are the things that you still are not, a fan of in terms of
For
anime?
anime, honestly, I love anime. Like I have no complaints. I could just watch anime and just like really ditch all the other genres right now because it's just so different. Honestly, it's so different because like especially One Piece. Honestly, it tackles a lot of hard topics and that's very interesting to me. Like they can and the fact that they can like really switch things up. Does that make sense? Without really you know what I mean? Because you can't get that on TV. You can't get that on at reality or like
In real
movies or
life?
whatever. Live action kind of
Mhm.
things. You can't. They just can't do it. They can't. Which kind of makes me question the upcoming live action for One Piece too. Right?
Really?
You've heard of that?
There is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
there's an upcoming live action.
But I've seen the
dude.
stage
And
play.
oh
Like they did a
really? That
stage
I don't
play of
know.
that. Yeah.
Where at?
I think it's in Japan. Most of the stage plays of
Okay,
animes
I
are.
kind of like it now. I was like, oh, stage play. Oh, it's in Japan. Oh, it's in Japan. Okay. The live action is pretty diverse, though. Like it's got other people in it, you know, other ethnicities, which I like. You know, it's nice to be diverse. You know, I think I would prefer that than
Inclusive.
Yeah, I think I've
just
seen it.
you know.
Yeah, I've
Really,
seen the
you know,
posters.
you'll see it. You'll see it. They're probably, but I mean, coming back, it makes me kind of question how they'll do it. You know what I mean? What I mean? Because like, if you've
Ah,
seen One Piece, it's pretty crazy. Like, how are they gonna stretch his arm? Like, how? Okay, like how are you gonna? That's some crazy CGI. Okay.
yeah, it makes
Okay,
sense.
like you know what I mean? That's crazy. Like the things that they do and the way, but the live action for what was that other live action? Alchemist, Full Metal
Full Metal
Alchemist. Have you
Alchemist.
seen
Have you seen it? Yeah, yeah, I've seen
that?
it.
Yeah. How
Have
do you
you
feel
seen
about
it?
that?
Mm.
No.
Oh my god. I don't know
It's
how to
a
feel it. I don't know
no.
how to feel about it. It's not bad. It's not
Yeah, it's
bad.
not
I
bad.
think
It's okay,
sticks
but
to at least you know the gist of the anime, but it just
but
makes me question.
but wait, have you seen Rurouni Kenshin though? The
Rurouni
live
Kenshin. Oh
action.
yeah, the original. Whoa. Okay, no, yeah, yeah, no, I've seen that
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, the movie, the live action. It was
He's
so
pretty
amazing.
cute.
Everything, like almost everything, has a live action, and there just shouldn't be.
He's pretty cute. Oh yeah,
But
no, that's
girl,
true. I feel that way too. That's.
but
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 if you've seen
the
Rurouni, though,
yeah, but you've
hello,
seen
Kenshin.
oh my god.
Dude, he's so cute, and he's all
Yeah,
in that. They stuck to
yeah,
the
I
whole
forgot what
red
it's called.
look. I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. It's like, yeah, okay, show me some Japan. I think that's how you should make it, you know, because I mean, um, I think it was also good because you know they had actual Japanese people do it. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Because
But
let's not forget Dragon Ball Z.
an
Remember
Avatar,
that?
the live
And
action
Avatar.
Avatar.
Do you consider Avatar anime though?
It's
Avatar
not
anime.
anime, but live action, like something that was 2D
Oh,
to
yeah,
live action.
Yeah.
So
See, wait,
it's gonna
yeah,
be
was
for live.
Avatar American made?
Yeah, it is
it is.
American made.
It's
See,
Nickelodeon.
it feels cartoon, right? Like there's
It
cartoon
is
and then there's
cartoon.
anime.
I like
You
you
know
asked
what
the
I
question
mean?
first before you said it looks
Yeah.
cartoon.
'Cause I'm like, where did I freaking watch that? And like, only yeah, you're right. It was on what was that?
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon,
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, yeah.
right? That's
Speaking of
wild.
your daughter, does anime? Do you think um anime like does anime help you raise her? I mean, in terms of what she consumes in the media.
I think so. I mean, at least it distracts her. You know, because I mean, but I just feel with all the tension right now, with all the issues going around, it just you know, it's kind of like okay, honey, let's watch this thing instead. Like nice people, and like you know what I mean. Like they, I'm not saying that Japan is inclusive and not racial in a way because you know like there are issues like that everywhere but politically you don't really see it, you know what I mean, and I just don't want to don't not to sound ignorant about the topic, but there's just a lot of you know things that that can imprint on young people, you know what I mean, like just the issues the common issues that we see here, at least in Guam it's not so much actually, it's pretty diverse here in general, but I think it's because we are in the mid Pacific.
Uh, yeah.
You know, so
The
we're like a
location
lot more
matters.
accepting of the Asian. Yeah, exactly. And you know, I kind of love that about this place. And we've got friends who are Koreans and Japanese and like we literally have local people as well that are or like when I say local, I mean like indigenously from here. Like my husband,
Mm,
he's like they are America, but they were a territory. I'm like they're not considered a state just yet, like Hawaii is. However, you know, they are considered Americans and they do have, you know, they are Americans, period. And it's just that with the culture that they have here, they're very accepting of other cultures, and that really helps. That really helps. And again, getting her kind of used to me watching other things, other languages I think has like really helped open her up to that. You know what I mean? To be more accepting of people in general. And I like that. I love that. And I
What anime is she allowed to watch though?
who me? Who her?
No, your daughter.
No, my daughter doesn't really watch a lot of anime. She doesn't really watch TV. She's been into gaming. She's been gaming a lot.
Oh,
Like she's been into Animal Crossing. So that really helps. That's really great because she was like, when they start fishing in Animal, and then she tells me, Ma, this is a sunfish. I caught a sunfish. Let's go fishing. And one time we were at this sporting goods store, right? And she was like, let's go get a stick for fishing. Because they only have a stick. In like Animal Crossing, it's not very like, specific.
defined.
You
Yeah,
need
yeah.
other things. And she's like
Mhm.
asking the lady, can I get a stick to fish? And things like that. Like, we're gonna go fishing, Ma. Okay, we have to do this. Like, and I'm like,
Fishing.
okay. Like, I can't swim.
How old is your daughter, by the way?
She just turned 6, literally like 2 days ago now, because it's
Oh,
Sunday here. So 2 days ago, she just turned 6, and she's very amazed of being 6 years old because now she's bigger now. She's I'm like, how did you get so tall? And she's like, because I'm 6. Like what?
you're only saying that now because you're 6. Once you reach 26, let me hear you say that again.
Want to. I'm like, but I am encouraging her to grow more because I'm pretty short, and I'm like telling her, you know what? I need a few things from that top cupboard, and I need you to take it. I need you to get it for me because I can't find the stool. Okay, like if you want me to cook something good, you better reach that for me. Or she's like, no, mama, like like I'm forcing her to do some child labor or something. She's like, no, mama, I don't want to do it. I don't want to cook for you, ma. Like that's hard. Like, why can't you do it? But yeah, it's great though.
But wait, I have another question. This is gonna be a bit of a hard question, I guess. But what is the best anime you've ever watched and why? Because I think you'll say One Piece, but
Maybe.
maybe. But is
Maybe.
there
I don't
anything,
know.
any other aside from One Piece? Then
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think Full Metal is pretty good. Full Metal Alchemist is pretty good. It's pretty original as far as I think. Again, like I've only really seen. Or wait, my most recent one too was what's that? My Hero.
My Hero
Is it
Academia.
My
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cute too. That's pretty good. I actually want my daughter to watch it, and she's like, "Do they have English?" I'm like, "Yeah, they have English. Calm down." She's like, "So why do you watch it like in
in Japanese.
Japanese?" I'm like, "Because it's cuter. It's great. It sounds better. Okay, it's just nice to pretend like I'm in somewhere else, kind of." And, then,
But wait, have
and
you been to
honestly, the
Japan?
following is not too bad. No, I have not.
At
My
all?
my my dad is from there. That's so weird, right? My dad is from there, but it's been pretty complicated with him. So like, I don't know. And I remember my from college. Remember
Yeah.
him? I kind of
Yeah, I
don't
wanted to
remember
ask
him.
about
Just
that.
kidding.
Like you have an ex that
He
um
was into anime actually. He was really into anime.
okay.
Yeah. So I think one of the reasons why I didn't want to watch it is because of him probably.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Because he was trying to kind of influence me into the things that he liked. At the same time, I don't know. I was kind of a butthead, I guess. I was being a butt to him, and I just refused because I feel like at the time there was a lot of girls who were into guy stuff for the
mhm.
publicity, quote unquote, and being popular with the guys and things like that, and I didn't want that.
Ego.
Like, yeah, yeah, you know us, right? Like there were times where he would kind of want me to do all these things that I would be uncomfortable with, like, public, being public about certain things, like dancing in public. Like, ever seen me dance? I can't. Okay, I can't. And because of that, I guess because he was a little bit too pushy, it just kind of like ruined things to me, for me rather. And when I did move on to something better, and I literally moved, which is funny. I moved out of Asia,
Mhm.
and and then that's when I kind of got into it. And I think I also really miss being part of the Asian culture. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah,
I think
because
it's I don't know, it just feels a lot more like home, yeah.
yeah, it makes sense. But wait, another question is, so since you've been watching a lot of these anime shows, how deep are you in the rabbit hole? And do you try to convince other people to watch anime?
Oh
You know,
yeah.
you
I'm
do?
kind of embarrassed, like because it's like they kind of like, oh yeah, at work. So when I get introduced at work, she's like, and there's all these young people, and my older coworkers like, she's into anime. Like, thanks. That's not exactly how I introduce myself. I
That's not
don't
my
exactly tell
personality.
people that, considering I'm like getting old, and it's funny because I really did get into it at a very late age, I believe, because like Naruto has been on for forever, right? Like I was in
Yeah.
high school when it was, and we literally had those little notebooks at the fish market. You remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you even did that Photoshop of it. It was great. I freaking loved that. That was great. So yeah.
And how do you feel when you think back to those times when you weren't into anime?
It was kind of weird. I think it was weird. Now to think back to it, I'm thinking like, how did I do that? How did I not watch this all
Ignore.
this time? Yeah, exactly. Because I was literally in Asia, with where everybody was watching it, and at the same time, I was just so ignorant about it. And like, I don't know, maybe because I actually don't know. I still don't know. It's kind of a mystery to me how I got. I mean, I think it's mainly because I really needed some sort of distraction, like
Mhm.
something really different from real life. And you
Yeah.
can't be any more different than anime, right?
Yeah.
Because cartoons, I believe cartoons, they only give you enough. Really, I mean, I've seen some good cartoons, like Adventure Time is pretty
Oh yeah,
good,
yeah.
right? That's
Rick and
pretty
Morty.
good. That was surprisingly pretty good. Okay, okay, okay.
BoJack Horseman. Honestly,
I
BoJack Horseman
actually
is good.
haven't seen that.
Oh, you should.
Really,
Yeah, no.
really. Hmm. I've been like,
Like in terms of American animation, I think that's the best one I've ever seen.
no way, really.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. Wait, so it's only in English, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
You want Japanese audio?
It would be great.
No, but
It would be pretty entertaining, I think. If they could just make, oh, you're American, okay, and then the Japanese kind of like wanted to be more Japanese, and then they're like, no English.
No English.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the
Right?
Japanese make a
Yeah.
live action of of the American
Of
cartoons.
BoJack Horse, like, let's see how you like it, huh?
Yeah. That's gonna be
That's
weird.
hilarious. So that would be very. I think that would be pretty interesting. That'd be pretty cringy. I think honestly, they would probably make it a lot more entertaining in a way. But again, I'm being a butt about American cartoons right now. It's like we didn't give you Yu-Gi-Oh. Was Yu-Gi-Oh English American?
I mean, it was
No, it wasn't. Huh?
Philippines, it's in Tagalog, but I've
Whoa,
seen it in Japanese. Yeah. Have
how's it
you
in
seen?
Tagalog? Did they
Oh
change
my god.
names?
No, their names are still the same. But have you ever watched anime in Tagalog? No, at
No, I don't.
all.
really.
Even when you're in the
Huh.
Philippines.
Yeah,
Man,
no, I don't
that.
think so.
If you think American dub is crazy, what more about Filipino dubbed anime though?
No, I think I've
I want to
seen.
see like
I think
I
might
want to
have
pull up
seen Naruto.
like a
Maybe.
like a Tagalog dub of something, and then just like let Trixie watch it and see how she
Yeah,
reacts.
yeah, pull it up, pull it up. Try to.
What's a good show? Naruto, because all
Yeah,
of us have seen
Naruto.
it for sure.
Naruto has been dubbed in Tagalog.
They changed the names
Tagalog,
or what?
No, no, no,
um,
no, no. The
Oh,
names are
they
the
even
the
same.
changed that name.
Man, but
See
they
Elmer.
changed the name for Ghost Fighter before. Have you seen? Do you know what's Yu Yu Hakusho?
Oh
Ghost
no,
Fighter.
yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that when I was young. So I actually I've seen some anime, I guess. Not really. I mean, there was this show called Toonami when I was young.
Ah, Tsunami.
I don't
Yes,
know if
yes,
that was
yes.
a thing. You guys know
Yeah,
that? They
yeah,
had that
yeah.
in
It was a
Philippines
thing.
too?
Yeah, yeah, they had that in Philippines too. Tsunami.
That's
okay,
That's
I
where they
see
showed
that.
or how
Yu-Gi-Oh.
should I watch? Okay. Oh shiza. Hold on.
I don't know what I pulled up really. I just picked the first thing I saw when I saw Naruto Tagalog dub,
My phone.
Okay,
just so you can see.
okay.
Okay. Hold on. Oh my gosh, like I don't want to see it. Is it good? Is it cringy? Do they stick to the voices? Do they do that?
Try to watch
Yeah,
it.
we need to see. This is Madara versus Guy.
Oh my
Reinforcements nga
gosh,
kayo
you
pero
ruined
malilimutan nyo
this
kayo
for
para
me.
sa akin. Kakashi,
It's like you know
okay ka lang
I
ba?
had to.
Oh,
Oh my
para sa
god.
kanya. Yun at ang mga physical na atake tulad ng taijutsu. Sir Minato,
Oh,
hindi ito ang taijutsu. Oo,
oh my
hindi ito
god.
gagamit sa tunay na labanan. Ngayon, Hachimon!
I can't. I can't. I can't. I
Okay,
can't
let's
do
not
this.
ruin the experience for you.
It's a
Let's not.
question. Did people watch this? Like, did people watch this in Tagalog in PI? Because again, I've been kind of ignorant about it, and like I don't really live with a lot of boys. There was just my little brother, and he's stuck with his laptop. So I kind of like it helped me kind of be ignorant of that. So was that like? Did they watch this in Tagalog and PI?
Yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, it was all in Tagalog. Dragon Ball, Flame of Recca,
Whoa.
Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, Naruto even was in Tagalog as well.
Was Sailor
Yeah,
Moon in Tagalog?
yeah.
What's yeah
Sailor
Sailor
Moon was in
Moon?
Tagalog.
Mhm.
Astro Boy was in Tagalog as well.
Wow. It's like
Doraemon
I
was
used
also in
to,
Tagalog.
dude. How did they do that?
Yeah,
Actually, I don't even want to know. I'll just check it later, I guess. Like I love the language. Don't get me wrong. I actually had to relearn it. When I moved back to PI, was I can understand because there was a lot of shouting at me in Philippine Tagalog when I was when I was young, and it was kind of hard to be ignorant about that. And there's a lot of PIs, and I had a very strong mom, and so I still understood to an extent, but I had to really kind of get used to the the diction of it, the hard
Mhm.
R's and things like that. That was something that's you can't really like you don't really have it in English really, and yeah, I know a lot of people struggle because of that, but so I don't know. One thing though, K drama, like those Korean novellas back at NPI, that really helped me though kind of get over it, because I don't know, it was pretty entertaining. It was pretty
Yeah.
entertaining and it was on TV. And in PI, cable is not really a thing because why would you do that to your sisters? There's pirated DVDs. Dude, I miss that about PI. That is not that's something you really can't get anywhere. Like I miss getting like the full MS Office in the CD from a Chinese dude, and like he got everything, cracked codes. Like, dude, you can. It's great. I loved it. I miss PI. I miss PI's piracy.
Girl, actually, our previous episode before you guessed it was about
Mhm.
piracy in the Philippines. So we did a full
yeah.
length episode for
Whoa.
that.
See, you just can't beat it. I really love
Yeah.
it. I was like, I was even boasting about it. Like, I was like, I had freaking every Harry Potter movie in one CD. Blu-ray copy with menu and everything. Like you could stop anywhere you wanted and you can go back and pick which episode you were on kind of thing. In like a good menu and no one stands up, like no extra laughing, just
Girl,
perfect. Like how did they do that? I don't know
imagine,
because
imagine. I watched Animax in pirated cable subscription. So, yeah,
really, wait,
yeah,
I don't even remember now. No, I had cable then. I
yeah. But
had
were
cable.
you paying for the cable, or was it?
I have no idea because my family, I swear to
Mm.
God, they're like, "Ay, ayan na yung Meralco." they have they have a switch A, switch B kind of thing. Even the water, I don't even know. I just say
Yeah.
that the Philippines is very resourceful. It's okay to steal from the government because the government steals from you.
But yeah, but Filipinos are, we know this shit. We know how to play the
Yeah.
game.
We'll make a plug if you don't look. We'll literally make a line A, line B kind of thing. That's great though.
Yeah.
I really miss that about our place. Everything there was always a loophole to everything. If there's a will, there's a way. Kind of.
Like there's no rule regarding this, so let me just
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let me just go ask my uncle to make one or something.
yeah.
It's crazy. And back then, we didn't have to call for plumbers. We don't have just call your Tito Elmer or something. Just call your Tito over. He got this. Like, why do you need
Yeah.
to climb up a telephone pole? Just call your Tito.
I literally,
Great.
like, I had this colleague of mine that was like telling me, "Oh, you know what? You're so handy. Like, you seem to like." I was like really resourceful and etc. And I'm like, it's called poverty.
I'm serious though that it's like they really teaches you a lot of things, right? It's like oh, you didn't have problems at 14. That's great, good for you. But I learned how to be not depressed on my own. How about that? And I didn't need therapy. or so I thought. And now in my late 20s, wishing like therapy was free. Like,
But before we end the episode, Trix, I want to
mhm.
ask you a question because we normally ask this within us. Like we have an anime recommendation. If you can recommend one anime to our listeners, to our viewers, what would it be? I think I know
I'm
the
gonna be original
answer.
and say One Piece. I'm gonna be original. No, I'm serious. You guys need to give this a chance, okay? Like, if you are actually, I keep telling you, just gotta give it a chance. You just gotta give like maybe max 3 years of your life at least. Where I'm at,
Amy.
something. But the pandemic really helped. So right now, there's still a pandemic going. I still think you should go through it. Use the pandemic. Just do
Yeah.
that. And yeah, I honestly, if you have the time, if you have the drive for it, it's about power. Power. Just
No, I'm
do it.
honestly planning on doing what do you call video
Yeah.
reactions for One Piece episodes.
Do
You want
So
it.
I'm
I
thinking
don't know
like
which
3, 4
ones to
episodes in one video, just because there's just way too much. I would have like
watch.
content for the next 10 years.
There
Like people are
is.
still waiting for my reaction for like
Yeah.
an episode
And
that's like 10 years away. So
that's true. And don't you want this to be a long lasting thing? You can make a career out of this. Just watching One Piece. Let's talk theories, and it'll just go
Yeah.
on forever, dude. It's pretty heavy. I really like it. It's very surprisingly interesting because of the topics that they kind of insert in there. There's literally government corruption. There's racial profiling. How did they do that? Like they did that. They really did that. I kind of want to recommend you watch the Fishman. I don't know if I would call that series. There's arcs to it, right?
Yeah.
But I think you kind of need to watch the Fishman arc. I don't know. I'll get back to you on which
Mhm.
parts really. But that was very interesting how they kind of introduce those hard topics, and at the same time it really makes you empathetic to again these fishmen, and they really aren't human, you know what I mean? They're not
Mhm.
human, and yet at the same time you really feel like these human topics to it,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Which makes it even more realistic in a way, but it's not real, but it is, you know what I mean? And it's
Mhm.
great because it makes you question, like, I can't believe I'm crying over these fishermen. They literally look like fish. Like, what do I do? But it's great. Honestly, it has a lot. Like, I don't want to tell you and spoil everything, but it really does have. So yeah, if you're out there, do it. Just do it.
How about how about you, Amy? Do you have any anime recommendations for us?
Yeah.
Jojo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh,
Mm,
Uh, yeah, you
okay.
guys mentioned we were talking about like anime characters that has made us cry. I don't cry a lot, so it's been a while since I've cried over a character.
Mhm.
And it was in Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. So yeah,
no way.
watch
Yeah.
that.
Really? It's I
Yeah.
think I've kind of seen the first episode, but I never really went through it. Not because I didn't find it interesting at the same time. It was just I was just caught up in something, probably One Piece. I'm not gonna blame I'm gonna blame One Piece for every moment in my life that I missed out on. I'm just gonna blame One Piece. It's great though. It's
Yeah.
I don't
Pretty
need to
long. I mean, there's 6 seasons now. I think I'm not
know.
sure.
So it's pretty
All of
cool.
Yeah,
the
and it has. I mean, shorter than One Piece. It's like 23 episodes.
mm,
So per season,
23
or
episodes.
I might be wrong. It just might be 4 seasons, but yeah,
That's not
it has
bad.
ovas as well.
Have you seen
me.
Shokugeki?
Oh no.
No,
Shokugeki no Soma.
Dude, you should. Yes. Watch it. It's freaking ridiculous. It's freaking ridiculous because it's about food. But if you're a foodie, if you're a major foodie, if you like food, and it's great. It's actually
But
maybe one of my top fives, maybe.
I tried watching the first episode of Shokugeki and I was like, kind of like,
Yeah, the first episode, yeah, but go through it. Go through it. Get in
I'll
at least
think
like
about it.
5 episodes.
what about you, Vivs? Do you have any anime recommendations?
I'm gonna be mainstream about this or like cliched, but I want everyone to watch Demon Slayer season 2 just
Hey, that's
because.
pretty
Oh yeah.
good.
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah, Demon
Because
Slayer is pretty good.
and it's really nice. But the thing is, it was the manga is short. It was already done. Obviously, it's not gonna be as long as a lot of ongoing animes, but I think I like it better that way instead of them prolonging the journey of the protagonist. So yeah, season two.
Yeah,
That's
so are
it
you
for me.
saying it's gonna be
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
shortened, like
short.
the series?
No. It was already done. I think last year.
Uh-huh.
And after
Mm.
season 2, I think there's one more movie and last season or last arc, I guess, or 2 more
Oh wow.
seasons. But that's it. That's how short it is. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
compared.
Pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Like
So
the
yeah,
plot is pretty. Mm.
hmm it is. It is.
Okay. And
The music
all
though.
right. So I think what?
The
The
music.
music, yeah,
It's
and the
freaking good.
animation.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have an episode about anime music
That's
Yeah,
as
we will
well.
soon.
You should listen to that. That is really good. I'm so stuck to it. And people have been singing it at bars here.
Ooh, what?
Yes, people have been
Really?
singing it at bars in Japanese. That's how hardcore it is. It's pretty freaking
Amy, I
good.
told you the episode about music is we have to do it.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
gotta do it.
We have a
Yeah.
guest for that too. So
Okay, just one last question before we end this episode. Do you watch
Shoot.
anime intros and outros, like the ending opening songs?
I mean, it
Yes
depends
or
on how
no?
long. What do you mean, like the
Like
openings?
yeah, the opening
yeah,
songs.
Yeah.
Do you
opening
listen
and
to
Yeah,
ending.
them?
when I'm watching a new arc, then yeah, like for One Piece, you just have to. But at the same time, sometimes it can be lengthy. Like I'm
Mhm.
literally like having to skip 4 minutes in. Are you serious about that? And sometimes it shows me too many characters.
Too
So
many
sometimes
spoilers.
it depends. It depends probably.
Okay.
If I
Yeah.
feel like it's too much info, then I'm like, no. Skip.
right. I think that's it for
That was
today's
fun. Thank you guys for
episode.
having
Thank you
me.
so
Thank
much,
you.
Missy,
This is
being our
great.
first guest and talking about what it's like to get into
Sure.
anime at a really late age. So, yeah.
I recommend.
Don't forget to follow us at Ara Ara Podcast. You can follow me at Hasta La Vista Amy. Vivz, any plugs?
Yeah, just follow me on Viv's Black Mage. That's gonna be on my Instagram and Twitch. And guys, if you have any thoughts, opinions, questions, or topic suggestions, feel free to leave us on comments on our social media. So yeah,
Okay, and Trick, you wanna plug anything?
Yeah, don't bully me.
And you can actually catch Trixie doing voiceovers and DJing
Yeah.
at
Okay, so like
uh,
I do voiceovers mainly for commercial radio and all that stuff. I sound better. I sound better. It's the coffee. But, but yeah, catch me doing that sometimes. And I don't have any plugs. I just I'm anonymous. Don't bully me.